and Foreman wouldn't have knew how to punch at Tyson from that range. Tyson would have cut the ring in half, number one, and then Foreman would have had to deal with trying to jab. Foreman didn't have a jab. You gotta understand that. Foreman didn't have no jab. Foreman had a slugger.
I think Foreman was better when he aged. I think he was a smarter fighter.
Smarter fighter.
When he fought Michael Mora.
Well, you gotta understand something. You hit the nail on the head. He was a smarter fighter. You know why he's a smarter fighter? He went back and he looked at his own old fights, his own old strategy to coming in the ring instead of having that attitude where I'm the big guy. And he was a big guy, powerful puncher.
Yeah.
He had no speed. He had no jab. He had nothing to defend himself. A fighter needs to use. Ali was just as big as him, but Ali had the offensive of speed and jab.
This is my thing about Foreman, right? Before he fought Ali, right? When he knocked out like Ken Norton and when he knocked out Joe Frazier, those guys were standing right in front of him, fighting him and taking his slugging punches.
They weren't punch to punch with Foreman.
Tyson would have been a lot harder to hit if they fought.
He wouldn't have been able to hit Tyson. You gotta understand.
That's what I'm saying. You saw how low he used to.
Right. Look at Tyson's fight. Tyson would cut his ring off in half with anybody he fought. Because Tyson get in there.
A young George Foreman would have fought Tyson head to head.
He wouldn't have been able to.
He would have done it though. He would have back then. That's how he fought.
Yeah, but Tyson wasn't going to allow Foreman to fight his fight. Tyson was going to get in there, get close up on him, and once you were close up on Foreman, Foreman is useless because Foreman's just a straight up brawler puncher. He was a wide puncher. He's a power shot puncher. He didn't have, once again, Foreman didn't have the ability to stick and jab, move around, dance around. He didn't have that. Foreman was the guy that would just knock you out.
Foreman should have never took that long layoff.
Well, he did. He did took the long layoff, and then once again, as he got older, he became a better fighter. He learned.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he should have.
Wisdom.
George Foreman.
Wisdom.
Yeah, a young Tyson. I'm saying like a 19 to 21-year-old Tyson. He wouldn't have beat him. I don't think so.
No, even as an older man, his wisdom, his Tyson style of fighting, he couldn't have beat him. Ali,
I think
is
Ali
a different story.
Yeah. I think Ali. You know what? When I was young, yo,
and I'm gonna tell you something.
Who you think would have went, Marv? Who do you think would have won, Ali or Tyson?
I wouldn't give.
You think Tyson was still a prime Ali and a prime Tyson?
Tyson, only because Tyson was so. Ali had his little rope-a-dope. He liked to sit back and take punches
with Foreman
and let you weigh yourself out. But Tyson was so strong in his prime, he was knocking motherfuckers out just with sheer power, just like. Straight up power.
And Ali even said that. Ali's strategy with the rope-a-dope was designed for Foreman.
And Mike
that's the only fight that he actually had to use the rope-a-dope. He outboxed Frazier, but Frazier beat him in that one time because Frazier caught him with that nice. Frazier was a bull.
Frazier was a bull, man.
Frazier was a bull.
And Ali ain't fight nobody like that.
No,
and this was Ali that after prison Ali.
Yeah, but he almost died from that Frazier fight that he had, man. That fight, that 15. That's why they shut them 15-round fights down.
Oh, that caught up to him later.
No,
in his
they
career.
shut them down because of that fight. That almost killed the two of them. Almost died from them fights.
Yeah,
shut that down.
I think Tyson could have.
And you ain't never going to see a fight.
I think
like
Tyson could have beat
again.
anyone. See, Ali had a granite chin, though. I don't think he would have beat Ali. I think when I was younger, I used to say that. I think Tyson would beat anyone.
No, Tyson would have beat
Ali.
In Tyson's prime, he would have beat Ali.
Tyson would have took him because
I'm going to tell you right now.
Has so much power. Once he get that body, he catch that.
I used to go to Ali's training camp and watch Ali in Pennsylvania. Ali had the gift of speed. Let me tell you something about Ali.
As a heavyweight.
As a heavyweight,
it was nobody in much.
Let me tell you something.
And footwork.
You couldn't hit Ali. Ali had the gift of speed, like Mayweather. Now, the Mayweather that you see in your years now,
Yeah.
and Roy Jones, Ali had that gift as a heavyweight. You could swing at Ali and throw all kinds of punches, and Ali would stand there with his head and move and watch you telegraph every punch coming to him, and you couldn't hit Ali. He had that gift. Tyson was a guy that wasn't going to give you that many swings. He was getting in close. You got to understand, Tyson's style of fighting was he was covering up,
and walk you down
2 steps, and
Yeah.
cutting the ring off,
He was
and then
doing
he
the
gets in there
peekaboo style
and
when
he's
he was
throwing-
like this.
He's throwing
Yep.
power blows to the body and then uppercuts. So, and Ali said it himself. Tyson would have took him.
Tyson
at the
always said
proms.
that Ali would have took you. Who do you think would have won?
No, Ali said Tyson would have won.
I think Tyson would have won just from his style.
Ali said it, and this is before
The way-
Ali got sick.
The way he did the peekaboo, the way he would
I ain't
just,
know Ali said that.
The way he just
Ali
walked-
said that. I know it. I'm a boxing historian too.
the way
He
he
said
would
it.
just walk motherfuckers down. Boom, boom.
He said
Go ahead,
it.
take his shot and then.
Tyson,
wow.
go watch Mike Tyson's fights.
I do.
Two, 3 steps, weave in, and then he gonna cut the ring off, and then he start putting that work in. Now with Ali had the gift, like I said,
But
the
Ali had
jab.
but Ali, what if Tyson? All right, let's just say Ali.
I'm
let's
not
say,
taking nothing from Ali. Don't get it twisted.
Listen, all right. We talking about Ali. We talking about Ali that fought Sonny Liston. All right. If Ali when his young super prime, all right. What if Ali had a good chin? Ali had a great
Yeah, but
chin.
you gotta understand something. Sonny Liston never had fought a fighter like Ali. It devastated Sonny Liston when he got in the ring with Ali. That was the beginning stage of fighters better than Sonny Liston, right there. Because Sonny Liston was not ready for the magnitude of what Ali was as a fighter, and he didn't respect him as not only a fighter but a boxer. You understand what I'm saying? This man had boxing skills, and not only did he have boxing skills, Ali was smart.
I
He
know.
was strategic.
That's why I don't think he would have
He
beat.
was
I think
strategic.
Tyson would. I don't think Tyson would have beat. I don't know. Because I think if Tyson didn't stop him early, it's a mental thing with Tyson sometimes. I think if he don't intimidate certain fighters and he doesn't knock them out quickly, Tyson.
He would have knocked him out. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I hate to say it because I love Ali, and I think he's one. He's self-proclaimed and proclaimed by others the greatest of all times. During his time, he was the greatest. However, if the two of them had to meet both in their primes with
Yeah.
the style of fightings that I watched, Tyson would have took them in their prime.
That's the thing, though. That's the
He was
argument.
unbeatable.
There was nobody in Ali's era in his greatness that fought like Mike Tyson.
Only person that I felt that was a true challenge during his prime, not afterwards, because Holyfield beat him after he went to jail and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Only person that I felt that was a bona fide challenger for Mike Tyson was Razor Ruddock, and they stopped the fight on him before he got a chance to put some work in. And you look at that fight. If they didn't stop
I
the
seen
fight,
both fights.
Razor was throwing
You-
some
hold on, talk about- hold on.
hardcore uppercuts.
You-
and let me tell you something.
you had
If
the
he would've
right- hold on,
caught
time
one
out.
of them.
You had the Mike Tyson and Razor. That was the only fight you had on tape.
Yes, because that was the best fight. And I was mad that they stopped that fight. I was mad. I was mad at what's his name?
Was it damn
Richard
Steele?
Richard
Steele. Yeah.
stopped that fight. I was so mad. I lost money on that fight. But Richard Steele stopped that fight. But Razor was about to put some work in because Razor had two things that Razor had: boxing skills, and he wasn't afraid of Mike Tyson.
But I think
And
that's
then-
the problem with
and
Mike
then-
Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's biggest weakness is his mental. I think when fighters are not afraid of him, I think he breaks
Holyfield
down
wasn't
in the
afraid
ring.
of him, and that's why he lost.
That's why he lost. That's what I'm trying to say. It.
Donald,
Tyson used to knocking
Lennox
everybody
Lewis.
out quick.
Lennox Lewis was the only people in my book. Only people that beat Tyson when he was a great fighter was Lennox Lewis and Holyfield, because he let Buster Douglas win that fight.
Well, by the time Lennox Lewis fought Tyson, he was older. He was a
You
lot
heard what
older.
I said? The one time he he threw a punch at Buster Douglas.
But
He knocked him out.
You used to love Lennox Lewis, so you was the only one that'd be like, "Yo, Lennox."
Because it was the truth.
People overlooked Lennox Lewis a lot
You
back
know why?
then when
Because
you
he was
liked
a
him.
British fighter, but he was the truth. Yes, he did. But they overlooked him because he was a British fighter, but he was the truth. He was the truth. He had a couple of little situations.
Well, he got knocked out by Oliver McCall. I think
and that was a lucky punch thing. He came back in there and Oliver was all messed up.
He was on drugs that fight, yeah. I remember that fight. You saw that, Marv?
Yeah,
yo, man, this dude Oliver McCall was on. I don't know what he was on that fight. He was crying in the ring. He was just I saw that live.
No, the worst crying in the ring, Shannon Briggs.
You know he trying to make a comeback, right? Yeah, but you know, yo, hold on, time out. Shannon Briggs been showing up to Klitschko's press conferences and calling him out. He's been coming to his gym right now. I mean, today.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say
Shannon Briggs this year.
I ain't dissing Shannon. Shannon was a hard.
Yeah, but George Foreman got robbed against that fight. Did you ever see the Shannon Briggs?
Shannon Briggs was a hardcore heavyweight.
Did you ever see the Shannon Briggs George Foreman fight?
Yeah.
I'm not hating on Shannon.
I think George Foreman won that fight.
I'm hating on him because he got comfortable and lazy.
He got lazy, maybe, but he was
in Golden Gloves. He was nasty.
But he was a bona fide heavyweight.
When he turned pro and started fighting, I was like, oh, okay, that's that cat from Golden Gloves. He looks good. But then after he cried.
Nah. Shannon was a bona fide heavyweight fighter, man. I ain't gonna hate on Shannon. He was a hard hitting cat, man.
I said, dude, got snot bubbles coming out.
Yo.
What are you crying for? Because he was getting beat.
Kenley.
I ain't gonna hate on Shannon. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Shannon Briggs is a beast.
If Shannon would have.
Well, he did lose to George Foreman though, and I think they robbed George Foreman.
You know what?
But I think
who
they were
better
trying.
Can you lose to?
George Foreman. This was after after.
Who better could you lose to?
This was after George Foreman
it's not like he lost to a
beat
bum.
Michael
He lost
Moore
to
and all
George
that.
Foreman.
Yeah.
No.
But he won. He won, huh?
Foreman beat Michael Moore. I was like,
yo, but you know what? I remember that fight.
He beat Michael Moore. He
beat
him. No, he beat him. He
outboxed
outboxed him. No, he outboxed him.
No.
He was nice.
No, Michael Moore was winning, but he just knocked him out of nowhere.
Yeah. He beat Michael Moore. He outboxed Michael Moore, and that was a good fight. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't a Michael Moore fan.
I was watching Michael Moore, and I was like, he had a nasty left too. He was doing his thing, but then when he got to that, it was like he didn't have it in him.
I wasn't a fan of Michael Moore. I won money on that fight.
It was like he didn't have it in him. He was like,
I didn't like Michael Moore neither. You know what? Because
I wasn't.
Holyfield lost to a lot of guys that I just thought that Holyfield, I thought, you know what? Holyfield lost to a lot of people that I thought a lot of other fighters could have beat.
You know what I like about Holyfield? When he beat Mike in the first fight, not only did I respect his boxing skills, but I respect the fact that he could take a punch from a heavyweight, a power puncher, and brush it off and keep fighting. And you know what? That's when I fell in love with Holyfield. Because he showed me that, because they were talking about Holyfield Tyson way before it ever happened.
because I was watching.
He wasn't ready. But let me tell you something.
When he was a cruiserweight.
Holyfield could take, when he took that punch, when he took them punches from Tyson, I was like, and he just shoved them off. Because I can remember the fight right as we speak right now.
Yeah, I remember that fight. I'll never forget that fight.
Oh, snap, this kid is the truth.
Yep. Everybody slept.
And then they said, oh, it was a lucky fight, and then he did it again.
Everybody slept on
And did it again. And then Mike got hungry in the ring. And
you said Mike got hungry in the ring.
He got hungry in the ring because he was like, oh, man, it's time to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling Michael. I wasn't feeling Michael Moore like that, man. How you like? Did you like Riddick Bowe or not?
Riddick Bowe?
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe potential. You know what he reminds me of? I'm gonna compare him to somebody in basketball. Riddick Bowe was a guy that could have took the world in his hands.
He reminded me of what's his name on the
Derek
Nets?
Coleman.
Derek Coleman. I knew he was gonna say that.
That's what I'm saying.
I knew he was gonna say Derek Coleman.
He could have had the world in his hands, but he was lazy.
Derek Coleman had the
could have been
potential.
the best power forward in the NBA. Riddick Bowe could have took. He had the world in his hand, but Riddick Bowe didn't want to do what it took. He won the title, and went and started eating, went right to Dunkin' Donuts.
What's the best fight you seen?
What's the best fight you ever seen?
Best fight I ever seen.
Damn.
Ray Hearns.
I was about to say that.
Ray Hearns.
I think Hearns versus
Ali
Hearns
Frazier fight.
and Hagler was way better than
Hearns. Hagler, yeah.
That was only 3 rounds, but those are the best 3 rounds I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, Hagler. Yeah. Marvin Hagler.
Hagler was the truth,
till
man.
Today, Hagler was the truth, and he didn't get the credit because he wasn't pretty and sweet. But Hagler was the truth. Yeah. Let me think of another good fight.
I'm gonna give you one.
Give me one.
Ward Gotti. 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah,
though.
Ward Gotti was great. Yeah, that when he got because Gotti did his thing.
Now I think the first one was way better than the second two though. But you know what? I said that on my. I said that on my channel.
No, that was one of them like like a movie.
But those dudes were
straight up. That was.
But you know what? Those dudes.
No, that was a Rocky movie.
You know what? Yeah, exactly.
Straight up Rocky
those dudes were straight up, no defense.
For real,
like, I'm going to punch you in your face and you're going to punch me right back.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
Yo, I told my channel, I'd never seen that fight again since the first time I seen
all
it.
The Ali and Frazier
I just
fights,
can't.
All the Ali and Frazier fights, you got to give that. Those 15 rounds straight up.
You watched that Sugar Ray Robinson special? When I seen it the other night, and I was like, oh, because you even learned stuff about him that I didn't even know about him.
Yo, Ray Robinson, let me tell you Ray Robinson. Ray Robinson, I mean, I'm not going to, I don't want to brag about it, but the dude had a dream about killing a man in the ring, and the dude died, yo.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
listen,
every fighter's taught, you got to understand something. His corner is going to teach him. His training camp is going to teach him.
Who was that?
But Ray Robinson beat everybody. Yo, he went.
Mean that. He
yo,
didn't mean to kill somebody.
yo. The dude, he didn't die right in the ring, but
yeah, but I mean,
Ray Robinson,
really mean to kill you.
Ray Robinson. First of all, Ray Robinson was the first one to have that good footwork. Yep. Before Ali. Ali actually copied him from that.
Right.
And then Ray Robinson, every person the few guys that beat him first, he beat them all in a rematch. Like he fought, Ray Robinson was the truth, man.
Yeah, he was
and there was no double divisions back then.
Yeah,
he went out.
But then the magnitude of boxers escalated.
That's when the rounds
this is what I'm saying.
Like 21 rounds. Right. They was fighting like 15, 20.
There was 15.
Rounds.
No, but Ray Robinson was fighting like 4 fights in a month. These guys don't do. They do 2 fights a year.
You know why I watched that special? Because he said he
the money, and they was getting paid.
Yeah, he was all messed up.
Yeah, he wasn't getting paid either.
Ray Robinson, the financial situation was on this.
My whole perspective changed once I saw that. I was like, yo, I didn't know that. Watch that shit. That shit was good as hell. I was like, damn, I was watching it the other night. And she was like, who are they talking about? I said, Sugar Ray Robinson. She thought they were saying Sugar Ray Leonard. I said, no, Sugar Ray Robinson.
It's sad that
black and white and everything.
It's sad that the heavyweight game is totally out because
I think it's on a rise though right now.
Money was watching the big boys get in there and get in the ring and slug it out. There's nobody out there in the heavyweight game that really can bring a card up and put some money on the table. There's nobody out there.
Who's your if you could name top 5 off the top of the head, top 5 favorite fighters, who would it be?
Lennox, Tyson, Holyfield. Ali's number 1. Let me go. My era, I'm gonna put Ali on the top, and Frazier.
What about Hagler?
You gave me
this
5.
is favorites, so this is not like who you think. Who is your personal favorite fighters? Who your personal
favorite?
No, they're personal. Because my personal is not the most talented.
All right, then let me go this route. I'm gonna go Ali. I'm gonna go Lennox. I'm gonna go Tyson. I'm gonna go.
They're all heavyweights.
No, hold up, yo.
Hold on. I'm gonna go Sugar Ray.
Uncle, you next.
And I'm gonna go Mayweather.
Ain't nobody saying Larry Holmes.
And you know what? Ain't nobody.
I was gonna bring him up.
Nobody else gonna say Larry Holmes either, because Larry Holmes started fighting when Larry Holmes came up. It was nobody in the game that he really needed to be beat to prove himself. The game was going downhill when Larry Holmes got in the game. The game was going downhill in the heavyweight division. So no, Larry Holmes is not getting those props.
I don't understand.
And Mike Tyson almost knocked him into the third round. So
you know
don't
what?
even get me started.
You know what
on
it
the
is?
Larry Holmes
You
thing.
know what? Larry Holmes, not for nothing. I think Larry Holmes was a great fighter, but he came at the wrong time because he came before the '90s generation of fighters, and he came. No, he came when all the guys were going out, like Ken Norton. When he beat Ken Norton, and when he beat Muhammad Ali and those guys.
Did you know? But
That wasn't
did
even
you
a
know?
fight with
Hold on,
Muhammad
let
Ali.
me
That
ask you a
shouldn't even
question. Did you know that Larry Holmes was one of the Muhammad Ali's sparring partners?
Yeah, he was.
And he tried to step his
I know.
game up in a sparring match, and Ali almost killed the cat. He was a sparring partner, and he tried to step his game up like I can beat this cat. Because they were sparring, and Ali almost killed this kid.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I know that.
I know he was a
Yeah,
sparring
well, I
partner.
know that. But
I
Larry
didn't know.
Holmes ain't beat nobody that impressed me. And when he got in the ring with Tyson, like I said, Tyson almost knocked him into the row 3. I was going to give him some popcorn. I was sitting at the fight. I'm saying to myself,
Yeah, but he came.
yo, Larry, you want some popcorn?
Yeah, but when he fought Tyson,
Fuck out of here.
I think he came back
Excuse
from
me.
retirement when he fought Tyson.
Who, Ali?
No, Larry Holmes.
Yeah.
He came back from retirement to
and then
fight
he got
Tyson.
slick with the tongue.
Because Tyson was knocking everybody out, and they tried to bring him back.
Yeah, but no, he got slick with the tongue talking about Rocky Marciano.
Who?
Larry
Oh
Holmes.
yeah, he made that.
He got a little slick
I know what
with
you're
the tongue
talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Rocky Marciano can't
hold
carry
my
my
notes.
drop strap. Couldn't carry my jock strap. Yo, you ain't beat nobody, Larry. And you want to talk about Rocky? You ain't beat nobody.
I think Larry came in the
Yo,
middle
come
of
on.
what, like when Larry
But
came
there was
up.
nobody
He
actually out there really, but he still held it.
no. It is with Larry Holmes. He came when everybody was on their way out, and then he started getting knocked out when all.
Mommy, Ma.
Now
Get
you
away
good.
from that heat. Get away from that heat.
Yeah. He came when everybody was on the way out, and then he left when all the newcomers were coming in. And he got beat by Michael Spinks twice.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Spinks was a
Spinks
good
was-
fighter, but he was all right. He wasn't.
Let me explain
he
something to
wasn't-
you.
he was
Let me explain
alright.
something to you. Michael Spinks was not a heavyweight. Michael Spinks was
He's a
somebody
cru-
that
he should have
got
been a
lucky.
cruiserweight.
They needed somebody to get back into the heavyweight division because there was nobody out there, and they threw Michael Spinks in there. And guess what? He got in the ring with Mike Tyson, and he was scared to death. Even before the fight, he was scared to death, and Mike Tyson took him out in the first round. And once again, somebody was getting ready to give him some popcorn in the third round.
Marv, who was your top 5 favorite fighters of all time?
Top 5 favorite fighters of
All time.
Arturo Gatti.
Favorite, not like most
No,
talented.
that you like.
Who you like?
Arturo Gatti,
Mickey
Warrior.
Ward,
Ward,
Evander Holyfield,
Holyfield, good.
Mike Tyson,
Mm-hmm.
That's 4.
and it's a toss-up. That's hard. 5, I have to say Sugar Ray Leonard.
All right, now let me tell you somebody that I left out that we forgot about. Pernell Whitaker.
Oh, Sweet Pea?
Sweet Pea, I didn't forget about him.
No. On the strip, in his prime.
Sweet Pea got robbed all the
Yo,
time.
yeah,
man.
yo, man. Let me tell you something
Sweet
about him.
Sweet Pea got robbed by Chavez. He beat the hell out of Chavez in my
He
opinion.
got robbed, yeah, but
And he got robbed against De La Hoya. And
yeah,
he got robbed against De La
but I'm talking about pound for pound. Whitaker was one of the best fighters
Ever.
out there doing his prime ever.
He was
Exactly.
the best. He's one of the
Exactly.
best
I didn't forget
welterweights
about him.
ever.
To me, he came and went too fast
Well,
for me to.
Nah, I think.
Because with
I
with
think
the
he
other
just
fighters,
got.
I paid attention to him as they went through the rank. Him, I didn't really pay
and
attention. to
let me
him
tell you
too
somebody else that we left out. We left out Roy Jones. Roy Jones.
I didn't leave Roy Jones out. My top. You know, all right, this is my top 5. This is my top 5. This is my top 5 favorites. They're a little newer because I'm in a different generation.
And let me tell you somebody else we leaving out. The Klitschko brothers. Bad
My top 5 favorite. I'm talking about favorite, not talent.
Right.
My top 5 favorite, I would say, is Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, Miguel Cotto, Sugar Shane Mosley, and even though I have a love-hate relationship with him, Floyd Mayweather.
Well, Mosley, I don't think should even be counted in that because Mosley.
This is my favorite. This is not
Okay.
this is not talent.
Mosley was good.
Mosley lost all his big fights.
Yeah. Mosley, I'm not gonna give him that. I'm not gonna put him in that class of great.
No, he's not greatness.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put him.
He's not greatness.
That
You know,
Roddy-
somebody
that
asked me
Roddy
to
coming back.
somebody asked me to do a video on Sugar Mosley and his legacy, and I was like, you know what, Sugar's not for nothing, but if you say Sugar Shane had like maybe like 8 fights or 10 fights, he lost 80% of those fights.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a big. Mosley
And plus,
fan.
he got caught with PEDs. He was on PEDs, the Oscar De La Hoya rematch.
Yeah, see that he's done
So-
with me with that. He's done with that.
So it kind of like, you know,
And
even
that's
though
why
he's
I'm
my
not giving, and that's why I'm not giving Pacquiao the props that everybody else is giving Pacquiao because Mayweather made a deal. He said, "Hey, listen, I'll be glad to fight you if we can take a test before the fight and after the fight." Now, if the man is saying, "I'm willing to take the same test you're willing to take on a blood test level, make sure that there's nothing in our system before and after the fight," and you say, "Nah, I don't want to fight. I know I'm not gonna take this fight." It's not on Mayweather. That fight never happened because this guy said, "No, you're not testing me." The fight never happened because the man said, "No, you're not testing me." I
yeah,
have a problem with that.
I do too.
I have a problem with that. It's not the Mayweather never said, "I don't want to fight you." He said, "I will fight you under these conditions. We both get tested before the fight, and we both get tested after the fight. That's equal. That's equal.
If you're not on anything, why not take the test?
That's equal. When you say no to those conditions, you lost my respect as a person that swears by boxing. You lost my respect. You lost my respect. I can't have no respect for you because you're saying no. I want to cheat, and I don't want nobody to know.
I feel you.
And that's it. So I'm not going to put him in that class of great fighters under those conditions because in spite of all the people that he beat, now I don't know who he beat under the influence. How you like that?
Well,
I
I'm
don't
gonna tell you
know
like
he beat.
this: Pacquiao in 2008, 2009, when he was knocking everyone out.
Like I said, I don't know who he beat.
I think if
under
he
the-
fought Floyd under those conditions, whether he was juiced up or not,
my thing
he
is,
would have beat Floyd in those
yeah, but
days.
if he's juiced
But
up,
if he's juiced up,
let me tell you something. You juice me up, I might beat Floyd.
you
You juice me up, I might beat Floyd. You feel me? So, my thing is this: if I'm into this boxing game, just like you are, son. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, I'm willing to fight you, man to man, in the ring. All I ask is that we both get tested. That we are not cheating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to cheat. I want to fight you man to man. No cheating. And he says, "Nah, man, I can't do that. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to fight you."
How do you say no to it? There's no Pacquiao fan. I like Pacquiao.
I
but
lost respect.
There's
I don't have
there's
no
no
respect for him.
Pacquiao fan in the world that can explain why you would say no because of a drug test.
Well, I lost respect. I'm gonna tell you right now, I lost respect for him, and ever since then, he's not on my list of champions because my question is this: how many people you already beat under the influence?
Yeah.
That's my question now.
Turn this on. All right, that's all y'all getting.